What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're focusing on the improvement of the game. We're currently facing a pandemic where we have no sport at the moment, but what it has allowed, it's given us an opportunity to rethink things, brainstorm and figure out how we're going to bring the sport back to the fans. We're obviously going through the current voting of Beaumont versus Pishot, who's going to become the new World Rugby chairman. We're going through Super Rugby. Is it working? What can we do differently? The South versus the North Club versus internationals. There's a lot going on, and it's good talk because something needs to be done. We need to see a change. We need to bring the sport back to the fans and give them what they want, and that's to see all these different tournaments happening, more international rugby. But one thing I want to suggest, and I know former New Zealand rugby player thought of this, we spoke about this in my past live stream, and that's bringing back international tours, the old school tours, and that is bringing an international team to your touring country where they can go and play provincial during the week and then the big international games on the weekend. Gives you an awesome build-up, pretty much like what the Lions do. They come up to South Africa at this stage next year. They're going to play our provincial teams, our invitational teams, and then the big three tests against the Springboks. We need to bring this back to excite the rivalries, to increase the rivalries, to give more opportunity at more international games, especially when we can tour the North and the South and increase those match intensities and bring the excitement back. I mean, too often we have to wait once every 2 to 3 years in order to see a massive contest. For example, England versus the All Blacks, or South Africa versus Ireland, etc., etc. The list goes on. And all those tours back in the day were so popular and so historic. Obviously, they created Six Nations, Tri-Nations / Rugby Championship in order to increase tournaments. But what I suggest is, for 1 year only, scrap the idea of Six Nations Rugby Championship and your provincials and focus the year entirely on international tours where we can see a lot of rugby happening during the year. So England tours New Zealand, New Zealand tours England. We see South Africa touring the North, vice versa. We bring back the old rivalry that we know and love of New Zealand touring South Africa, or South Africa touring New Zealand. Bringing back the old school tours where teams like the Blue Bulls, the Sharks can play against the All Blacks. How often do people dream of these opportunities to play a team like the All Blacks or the Springboks or England or whoever it may be? For a provincial side to play an international side is such a dream for these youngsters who might never get the opportunity to play international, but yet playing provincially and creating an upset, like if the Crusaders beat South Africa or England. I mean, what a story that's going to be. And so many people have debated it because obviously Crusaders are one of the most dominant teams in the South. We look at the North, Saracens versus the All Blacks, or Saracens versus Springboks, Leinster versus Springboks. I mean, think of all these kind of games and the excitement it can bring of allowing these guys the opportunity to playing against international teams and possibly beating them. Now, obviously, scrapping Six Nations and Rugby Championship is going to cause quite a bit of drama because it's historic tournaments people want to see. Then why not scrap the international, the current tours that we see, the July internationals, the November internationals, and create it as a tour? So tour the country that's currently in season and do it like that. Yes, we see the North touring the South in November, but we need to see more and create more games, give more opportunities, and allow fans to really get a taste of the different style of the sport that we knew from the past that needs to be introduced into the younger generation, like me, for example. I only know Tri-Nations, Six Nations, Super Rugby, etc., etc., but I would love to see the Sharks taking on the All Blacks or taking on England, Australia, whoever it may be. That's something that's exciting. When I watched Southern Kings for the first time take on the Lions, that was one hell of a new experience for me, and I just feel that could allow more financial opportunities within World Rugby, within the nations, to be able to fill seats. And I think a lot of people will be encouraged to go and see these games. And the Lions tour is a great example of this. We all want to see the Lions. It's a new thing. So when we see our provincial teams play against the Lions or in the international teams, people go fill the seats because they're curious to see what could happen. How could this change things? And I think that's, for me, is an important opportunity for us to really change the game, excite it, bring it back to the fans. And I think a lot of people probably would be in agreement with me. Obviously, you wouldn't want to see Six Nations go all Rugby Championship, but think of other plans in order to bring this back. And I think this will be a great opportunity for whoever becomes the chairman next month to experiment and to do something different. And I feel it could be a good thing to see an international tour again. I think it's going to excite and liven the sport up, which we currently need to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Shout out to Blizzard B, LB, London Gardens from the stream on Saturday night when these guys helped formulate the title. I've gone a bit different to what they suggested, but it inspired the idea of this title as well as for the video. Keep them coming. Let me know your thoughts and we will continue this debate obviously in the comment section. As usual, please guys be respectful. I know we all support different teams. I know we're all competitive, but we are human beings and there's no need for name calling in the comment section down below. I plead and ask you very nicely to please be respectful of each other, not call anyone an idiot or etc etc. This is a channel for sports passion and sportsmanship, and let's continue that down in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, become a member by clicking on the join button, and I'll see you guys soon for another one. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.